Tonight on Podcast Them Down, AMON AMARTH's long-lost comic book for Twilight of the Thunder God. Hail, Metal Nation! It is I, Tim. This is Podcast Them Down. And today, Dave will be taking us through the journey of the Twilight of the Thunder God.
That's right.
Comic book. That's the word I wanted. So, when I was trying to figure out, do some research for this, they announced that their new album, whatever it is coming out. I see what you're trying to do there. It's gonna,
not gonna fit over my big head.
The new one has a whatever. I have many thoughts all at once. That's why I can't form a sentence.
So I haven't heard about this, whatever package it is, so I'm excited to learn.
So the new one is coming with a graphic novel.
Okay.
From Z2 Comics, and they made the King Diamond graphic novel for Abigail, which we will be going through in a future episode.
Yeah.
So that's one I forgot I had and didn't tell you about.
Nice. That's very exciting.
Yeah, so obviously this will be the first in a series of comic book reviews, metal comic book reviews, because we have a surprisingly respectable collection of these metal comics.
Turns out
between the two of us,
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry. Go for it, Tim.
I was just gonna say, so the box set of Twilight of the Thunder God came with this comic book, so I didn't get this box set because that was when I was on my way out on AMON AMARTH. So
I am struggling to remember. I got three. I got 3 albums worth of box sets in succession. I think this came with the bobbleheads.
Oh,
so
weird.
It's a set of AMON AMARTH bobbleheads where they've got like their instruments and they have like kind of a cartoony look. They did not include like a mechanism wherein the bobbleheads will windmill, which was a little bit disappointing. But I don't know how you engineer something
AMON
like
AMARTH
that.
They don't bobble.
No, they swivel.
That's right.
But yeah, it came with that, with the album Twilight of the Thunder God, which I think was really their last inventively good album. Just personally, that's my opinion.
Is that the album with Took's Taunt? No. That came after that.
It did. I think you're right. I think that's on Suture Rising.
Yeah, so that was definitely the last AMON AMARTH album I cared about.
Yeah.
I
did get the box set for that one as well. And that one came with a Searcher figurine, which is still sitting in its box, just like the bobbleheads.
That's awesome. So I found the bobbleheads on eBay, and I see the sticker here. It says it comes with it's the Super Deluxe Fan Box Set. Sweden's Viking overlords of metal, AMON AMARTH, mark their glorious return with Twilight of the Thunder God. Super Deluxe Fan Box Set includes the brand new AMON AMARTH release Twilight of the Thunder God in a 2 CD and DVD digipack. Have you watched the DVD?
I did. Yes. It was like a performance of the
yeah,
I think it was them at Summer
it says right
Breeze
here.
Or something.
Summer Breeze Festival,
yeah,
2007. Wow, you win on both.
I'd say I did watch it.
Yeah, on CD and DVD. Then it comes with 5 bobbleheads, one of each member of AMON AMARTH. Then a limited edition collector's AMON AMARTH comic book, and then a full color poster. Now I'm looking at the bobbleheads now. So. One of them is holding up a drinking horn. So I'm looking at this on eBay. So it's like someone took a flash picture. So it's hard to see.
Should I go upstairs and get it so that we can look at it over my shitty webcam?
No, that's okay. The one guitarist has a Mjolnir, of course. Actually, they all have Mjolnirs.
Yeah.
And he's got his Gibson Explorer. One of them is standing on a head, a severed head.
Nice. I actually never noticed that detail.
All right, do you want to guess how much this is going for on eBay right now?
If it's not more than $300, I will be disappointed. So I'm going to see $301. Wait, is it in foreign currency?
No, this is US. The box has been crushed a little bit, even though it says it's like new.
My box is immaculate.
Ships from Whitesburg, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Okay. Whitesburg, Kentucky makes me very uncomfortable. All right, so you are right. It is more than $300. How much more? Right.
Is it $100 more than $300?
More than $100 more.
Blankenstein.
You can buy it now for $550.
That's bonkers to me. $110 per bobblehead? Or does it come with everything?
This comes with everything.
Okay, all right. Well, still too much.
Yeah, but it's also been tainted by this poser who's never even opened it or listened to the CD, from what I can tell.
Man, I recently got my annual bonus because, the Swede did well. And I spent a small portion of it on a Blind Guardian box set that I didn't know existed, but then found while drunk eBaying one night. And I did not pay that much money for that. And then the second Blind Guardian box set that I didn't realize existed and also drunk eBayed combined. And those got busted, man, by Canada Post. They hosed me.
Oh.
Yeah. The claim is ongoing. Got
smashed up? Did they outsource it to DHL so they can shit all over it?
Oh, no. God. If there had been a piece of DHL on there, I would have returned it immediately and asked for a full refund. No, it's like this. So it's for At the Edge of Time, which was the album art had like an Egyptian theme to it and like all of their tour branding and stuff. So it's this pyramid that's cast out of some hard, like stone, like extremely dense resin. And it's got this dragon on the front of the pyramid. Yeah, it is very cool. But it's got this dragon on the front of the pyramid, and the pyramid lifts up to reveal this tray where the CD sets, and then there's like a bunch of Blind Guardian coins. So one of the dragon's wings snapped off in a shipment, and it's like, I can fix it, and I will once I get around to it. But at the same time, Canada Post, man, you gotta take better care of that stuff, man. It's going to someone.
So I know what you're wondering. What else does this eBay seller sell?
I would need to know.
Factory sealed PlayStation 5 game.
Okay, I hate him
collection.
already.
Never heard of it. Some Privé Revo polarized sunglasses. Congress of the United States House of Representative letters for $160.
Where did
this is all the same seller, 100% positive feedback, 3,600 items sold, 104 followers, because most of these people I bet are lining up to get the McDonald's Thai Beanie Baby Britannia the Bear Rare with 2 tag errors for $700.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding. So, man, you can, this Amon Amarth box set is a steal compared to this Beanie Baby.
No kidding. I mean, and not to make it about fish, but the fish aftermarket for ridiculous memorabilia is absurd. Like in terms of the flipping practices, at least he hangs onto the Beanie Baby for a while. But like, it makes you wonder, what is this guy's business? Like, is it estate sales or? Like,
it's hard to say because there's like lots of just random shit in here. Because there's a snowboarding jacket. There's some boots, men's and women's boots.
Hmm.
A NASCAR Jeff Gordon 24 Mega Blocks race car model.
Maybe
Is
just
that
he's a
what that is?
collectibles reseller. But
Oh.
not, some of this stuff isn't collectible, like boots.
Yep. All right. Well, back to Amon Amarth.
Wild. Yeah.
Let's go back to why we're here.
Let's do.
So, yeah, let's focus on this comic book here because
Okay, so yeah,
that's the series we're doing. We're doing Metal Comics.
and I like comics. I mean, I am not a superhero fan. I've never really been into Marvel and DC and like all of that, but I have enjoyed comics as a medium my entire life, from the newspaper to actual like single issues, graphic novels, compilations, all of that. So when honestly, the comic was a fairly big part of the draw for that box set when it was released. The bobbleheads were cool. I also have an extensive collection of Capitals bobbleheads. Let's go Caps. And that was nice to have, but the comic I thought was going to be really awesome.
Oh,
It's cool.
Okay.
So this is the thing, right? Standalone comic issues can be difficult. And while I value, if we're going to do like a quick thesis statement on the Twilight of the Thunder God comic, the art is spectacular. I wish it was bigger. I wish it was standard size, because as you can see, this is fairly small.
Oh,
It's
a little bitty.
It's a itty bitty one. And sorry for the shitty lighting, everyone, but
It
this
looks
is
like a 4x6 postcard.
yeah. It's like probably 60% of the size of a normal comic. And this art would have really benefited from a larger presentation, in my opinion. Dialogue, not so great.
Oh no. Oh no.
So, I'm not, I am by no means a lore master, but I have a passing familiarity with the Norse myths, and this tells one of the tales of Thor, in which he and the giant Hymir go out fishing one day. And they're out there fishing, and they've baited the line, and Thor's got this ox head hanging off a chain off the back of the boat, and he's using this as bait.
When you started this myth, I was like, oh, they chose the most mundane, boring myth. I'm going.
Oh, it gets
fishing.
exciting.
Okay.
Right. So Thor's fishing with this ox head and the chain, and all of a sudden they're out there fishing. All of a sudden, Jormungandr, the world serpent, takes a chomp out of this ox head, and they hook the world serpent. And
awesome.
You know, the boat is getting tugged deeper into the water, and the chain is snapping taut, and Hymir the giant freaks out, and he cuts the line because he doesn't want to get dragged to the bottom of the sea. Well, this enrages Thor because he's aware that it's eventually going to be his destiny to face the Midgard serpent and fight that battle of Ragnarok. But
you know, the old man in the sea, the guy held onto that line for days fighting the fish.
never read that. That was
boring.
was not on the Hemingway lists in Montgomery County Public Schools when I was there. So,
well, they should have banned it. Then I would have read it earlier.
There you go. So he cuts the line. Jormungand gets away, and Thor is just enraged and does what he does best when it comes to giants, which is he whips out Mjolnir and whacks him on the head. And then I think at some point the boat sinks and Thor has to walk back to shore. But again, I said I'm not a lore master. You can check this stuff out in your favorite Edda, or you can spend $550 to our friend in Kentucky and get your hands on a copy yourself.
Well, I pulled up the myth here. It says Thor with the two whales slung over his shoulder waded back to land. Did they draw that?
I forgot about the whales. Let me check. I don't remember that. I love whales. Favorite animal. But I don't remember that from the comic. We've got him fighting Jormungand. We've got some more fighting. They're somehow on land. I mean, so the other place where this really struggles is the fact that they attempted to use Amon Amarth's lyrics, which are a loose interpretation of this particular story, except they're not, because what Amon Amarth is singing about is Ragnarok, like the last battle that Thor is going to eventually face Jormungand, smite him dead, but be bitten in the process, take 9 paces and fall down dead. So like there's this weird flash forward to the plane of Vigrid and like the Battle of Ragnarok, and it doesn't fit with the fishing trip. It's just, there is no narrative there, and they could have done one and it would have been awesome. And it didn't need to necessarily tie into the song itself to have been successful.
So it sounds short.
It is. It is, let's see. I don't know that the pages are numbered, but to put it in perspective, the book itself is quite a thin volume.
Mm-hmm.
And the comic ends at the absolute midpoint.
What's
got what's beyond. What indeed? So what is beyond is the making of the comic and kind of an expose biography on Lucio Parrillo, I'm guessing. The artist who drew the comic. So it's got like sketch pages and a thing about Jormungandr, and Florian Kropp from Metal Hammer Germany writes a little blurb. And then there's a pretty rad, like, I hesitate to say centerfold, but this kind of sea demon-y looking creature that's, is it a serpent if it has muscular arms? I don't know. And then they do it all again in German, but with different art. Yeah. So
wait,
the
different
German
art?
Yeah. So interesting. So the English version features like line art and sketches and stuff from this comic that we that we've got right here. But the German one is a little bit more German in its approach and does like some medieval guys fighting a battle, and then some big orc dude. Like, what the fuck does this have to do with Vikings? So that, like, the art is great. It's a wonder to look at. It's really, I mean, for any of you twatchers out there taking a look, I'm sorry that this isn't doing it justice, but the digital art is lush, and man, can I give you a taste of some of the dialogue?
Yes, please.
All right. Page 1. I'm going to set the scene as well. So it's Thor on a windswept something with the sky behind him. And he's thinking, Jormungandr, enemy.
Oh, God.
Show yourself.
It's time for the Tarzan.
Yeah, right. It's time for the final battle. Fenris's dreadful twin. I remember. Like, and it's bad. So he's basically standing on this plane waiting for Ragnarok to show up, and he remembers the fishing trip. I've done them dirty. I forgot that this was a flashback episode to the fishing trip and not a flash forward episode to Ragnarok.
Hence the windswept something, because it's Ragnarok.
Yes. So, like, and you get halfway through the comic, and here we go. The eyes are full of primal hate. Venom in his breath. Jormungandr twists and turns, mighty in his wrath. Like, these are direct lyrics from the song that are just kind of put in here because
that's what I was trying to look up.
But the art is just so fucking good. Like, you've got this whole
Oh, hell yes.
I mean, and the panel layout is interesting. You've got a panel layout is interesting. You've got a whole background image as well as your interior panels, or your insets rather. So yeah, I don't know. It is a mixed bag for me. For me, this is more of like supplemental liner notes really than a comic. And I'm not disappointed with it.
Nice.
And it's nice that it's hardcover too, because like so much of the fucking anxiety around comics is in the preservation. Like, wash your hands, don't touch it, put it in a bag. This, like, I don't have to worry about. I can put it with the actual album and have it there, and not have to worry about it getting like chewed on by a cat or dinged up or humidity fucking with it. So yeah.
So, long term, I'm wondering what we should do with our comic book reviews. Should we be rating them? Now, we both cannot rate them because I don't have this, and I don't have $550 to buy it from Wattsburg, Kentucky. So we could do that, or we could rank them.
I think.
What's the best way to proceed? The most metal thing to do would be to rank and or rate them. So
I think commentary and then ranking. Well, we could have. This is tough because you raise a good point. You haven't read this one. I haven't seen the Jagpanzer one. I haven't read.
Right.
What else do we have? King Diamond. I mean, like.
Yeah, I bet that one only I have. So
yeah.
We could do an exchange so we could properly rate them in a future episode.
That's actually, I think, probably the best idea.
Okay, so maybe we should culminate this series by getting together with all of them. Mm-hmm. We read whatever we need to read, and then we can come up with our definitive rankings. That's perfect. So
okay,
because procrastination is also metal.
There's nothing more metal than doing it 20 years after you started it, or finishing it 20 years after you started it.
That was a reference to a metal promo review.
No, but I really like that. And with things like with Abigail, at least, I know the story, so easy enough. We can talk about how well it's presented and all of that, but that's good. And, if one of us hasn't read it, we can ask the other questions. All right. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
Metal Nation, y'all are so lucky to get to do comic book nerd / metal stuff with us as we bumble our way through.
And they like watching the sausage get made.
So. Oh yeah. There's a little special behind the scenes. Normally you have to pay for this stuff in the Patreon and get to see us hash things out in real time, but just...
Oh, hey, February, which we're probably right in the middle of. There's new Patreon content every single week in February. So enjoy. Go sign up for the Patreon. Link in the description. And the blackest metalist album cover ever by Cobweb is still available for sale on steelresolve.com. I think we should do a podcast them down comic book at some point.
That's a great... Look... Put that one up there with, well, I mean, I don't want to be a fatalist about this, but like, how expensive is on-demand comic book printing in this time?
I'm guessing
in these days. Like, I feel like we can do a podcast them down best of vinyl sound effects compilation for about the same price.
I like it. I'm looking to see if my go-to service...
Oh yeah. Do they do
No, they'll do flags and metal prints, but
I mean every print we do is metal.
That's right.
Oh man. So, Amon Amarth. I don't know. Like I read this once when I got it. And now going back to it, I am really, I'm just really appreciating the art. They did a great job with the artwork. That's my final thought on Twilight of the Thunder God. The comic.
I like it. All right. Well, until next time, Metal Nation, keep it brief and do the German version slightly differently. They recorded it at Fascination Street, apparently.
Oh. With Jens Bogren?
Gesundheit.